So in the healthy process of development, I will not encourage people to go too quickly into the spiritual levels, to the higher states of consciousness or to the upper chakras, before I make sure their lower chakras are pretty balanced. And there's always lots of stuff to do there in the lower chakras. Many things to take care of. All our earthly experience, with all its conflicts and difficulties, we need to face that first. So at that point, I will use the power of consciousness, I will use the expanded states to help the person build the three lower chakras into a very strong, healthy sense of self. It would still be a separated self, but it will be far more healthy. There will be a certain feeling of autonomy, centeredness, inner power, the ability to trust yourself, and far better flexibility in your response in creative ways to different problems. For many people, that is more than enough. That's when they say, thank you very much, you helped me a lot, now I go home and bye-bye. Okay? But for those who want to go beyond, for those who have the spiritual impulse or are more interested in finding out more of their potential, that's when the spiritual part becomes relevant in a more direct way. And then from an energetic point of view, it's where we have to go from the third chakra to the fourth. Okay? Because as long as we're just doing the work of creating a strong, healthy self, we are dealing mostly with the three lower chakras. We are balancing the three lower chakras. But then if we want to go beyond it and start touching states of unity or merging or feeling not so separated anymore, that's when we start to need to connect the third chakra with the fourth chakra, and of course the upper chakras later. And when we do that, I always tell people we are not letting go of that healthy self. This healthy self is going to assimilate, it's going to be absorbed. It's going to be included in something greater, in a greater state of unity. We are not going to lose it because we are still human beings and we need to function in the world and we still need to respond to earthly problems sometimes, right? The fact we are expanding in our consciousnesses and becoming more spiritual doesn't change the fact we are still on earth. And on earth we need to eat, to work, to take care of relationships, all that stays as it is. So we don't want to lose that ability to respond from that level of authority. It just doesn't, it's not our identity anymore. So like I said maybe before, when we speak about spiritual development, it's all about the change in the sense of self-identity. So if my self-identity was that individual, strong individual authority, that's the only thing we're going to let go of. We're going to let go of our attachment or identification with that state for the sake of something larger. But we're never going to let go of that healthy state of self because it's a vehicle. It's a certain capacity which we're going to use because we're going to need it in our life.